So 2025 really is a year of stepping more into our personal power and really reawakening the truth of the unity that we all share as humans, as animals, as creation, right? So it's awakening that unity consciousness within, because we've been in the separation consciousness. Now we can understand unity consciousness, right? We can understand that with this one unified field of source expressing itself as all these different expressions, and we can even see the interconnectedness of life, right? We can witness the synchronicities, the signs. We can witness how we think something and someone delivers the answer or says exactly the words that were coming in our mind. Often as we're on this awakening journey, we start to experience the magic of life a lot more as we're healing parts of us. But really, what does it mean to be in unity consciousness? Because if we really are going to truly awaken to unity consciousness and embody it in our souls and really say that we are truly awakening, then we've really got to reflect in our day-to-day lives and ask ourselves, where in our lives are we still reflecting separation consciousness, and then use our light to heal those separation wounds that are allowing us to express that way. So I'm going to give you an example, right? Because I went onto Facebook the other day, and there was this post just staring me in the face, and it was basically saying, if you still believe that the medical industry is genuine or something like that after what happened in 2020, it named it in 2020. I'm just trying to be careful because I got a strike. you know what happened in 2020. Then you are a retard. So that's what it was saying, right? It was basically saying, if you still believe this, then you are a retard. Now, what I saw instantly was, okay, well, this person that's saying this is not awakened, or they are not truly awakened. So they think they're awake because they think they're seeing things that are happening in certain places, but the truth is they're not awakened because they're calling another soul a retard, because that soul has not, or whoever they're directing at, really, because it's on Facebook, right? So they're not even directing it at anyone in particular, right? They're just sending it out there to really shame people, right? And I don't think they're doing it consciously, actually. I 100%, I did go into a little bit of judgment, right? And that's on me. That's for me to look, why am I judging that person a little bit? Because what I actually see is that that person that is putting that out there, and there's many posts like that person that is putting it out there is actually pretty asleep themselves, right? Because they don't realise that they're a part of this unified field of consciousness, and they don't realise that, yes, people are at different stages of their awakening, and I could look at that person and call them a retard, for not realising that the people they call them retards, if they aren't awakened to that, it's not because they're retarded, it's because they carry wounding or trauma or programming, or maybe they're even contracted to not awaken to it right now, so that they can help many of us awaken and see it, right? Because actually it's the contrast in life that helps us to awaken and see. I'm going to link a video that I've just done on past life reviews, because I kind of talk about that way in terms of karmic relationships, how the beginning of our lives we're in these karmic relationships, which are really relationships where we're bonding through our wounds, our trauma, but it is in those relationships that it helps us to see and wake up. So if we didn't have those relationships, we probably wouldn't see and wake up to the wounds and trauma, and wouldn't heal it, and wouldn't be able to become our highest expression. So actually many of these souls out there that are not awakened, according to other people, that are retards, which they are not, right? Sorry, I'm being a bit facetious there. Which they are not retards, right? It can be because they are literally contracted to help us wake up and see it. But also, if it's not that, it's because they carry trauma, they carry wounding, they've been programmed, just as we all have. There's a point in all of our lives when we were all asleep to it. Did that make us retards? No, of course it didn't. Does it help heal, bring unity? Does it help us grow, evolve, create the world that we want to create by calling people retards, by literally creating that energy of negativity towards someone that is already suffering? Because if they're not awake to that, then they're already suffering, right? So the reason why I bring this through is so we can reflect, so not to judge this person, right? Because I can see that this person, so even though at first I had a little bit of judgment, I'm not going to lie to you, I am still human, and I am working through my own programming and distortions within my field to bring unity into every space of my being. But I can see, right, after my ego was triggered slightly, I very quickly moved out of that triggering space and into compassion for that person, because what I can see is that person that's calling other people a retard for not knowing something that they didn't know at one point and now they know, is because I can see that it's the distortions, the wounding, the fear, where they feel powerless in their own lives, and they're projecting that pain, that powerlessness onto other people, making it other people's responsibility to change for them to feel safe. And I get it, because we've all been programmed to feel powerless, to give away our power. So really they're reflecting their darkness out onto another, because they're not healed inside, right? Because they don't feel they're unconscious to their own mind control and conditioning, right? So reason why I bring that up is because if we truly, I am committed to my mission of bringing back the organic timelines, of helping humanity to awaken to the truth of who we are. Human beings are goodness. They are inherent goodness. And anything that is acting outside of that inherent goodness is a distortion in the energetic field. And those distortions have been brought in many, many different ways. But the truth is, we are all a unified field of consciousness. We all come from God source. We are all expressions of that, and somewhere along the line some of those expressions have been manipulated. We've all been manipulated in this 3D reality, and we've all spent lives and times doing different things, playing out different roles for each other as well, contracted for different roles. And actually the creating this division, projecting our wounds onto another, that is, and usually we're doing this onto people that are already suffering, right? The media, the government will bring in a group of people, they'll be orchestrating something, and then they'll get the public to they'll tell the public, this is why your life is bad, because we're bringing in these, let's just say immigrants or something, your life is bad because of them. So then everyone focuses the division on them, right? Which is not the truth, but it just helps that divide and conquer is the modus operandi of the dark forces, right? It's how they loosh our energy, it's how they keep us in separation consciousness. So right now, 2025, many of us have been awakening to unity consciousness for a long time. Maybe you've been awakening for a long time like I have, or maybe you are just awakening to it. It really doesn't matter, because we all coded and activated to awake in divine timing. And when we awake or don't awake, it doesn't make us better or less than another, because we are absolutely equal as souls, having this experience. And there's so many energies, contracts, things that are at play that we can't possibly know from our own perspective. So if we start to judge another, or we start to basically project our own darkness, our own fear, our own judgments onto another, we're basically harming ourselves, and we're keeping the consciousness in those dark energies that we fear that we don't want to be in, right? I think we all want to be in harmony. We all, we've spent many lives in this reality and working in these dark, dense energies, and it's divine timing now. We're moving out of that. The planet, it is ascending, whether people are aware of that or not, and it's up to us as humans whether we ascend with it, whether we want to do our work and heal. I mean, it's happening organically for a lot of people, but a lot of people need help in that, and that's where my role comes in, and many people like me that are bringing through these wisdoms, knowledge, teachings to help people to activate and awaken. But wherever you are on your journey when it comes to unity consciousness, it's all right as saying, yeah, I believe in unity consciousness, and it's coming, and this message is for me as well. When I deliver these messages, they're always for me as well, right? It's always my reflections, reflecting deeper on myself and asking myself, okay, I know about unity consciousness, I totally believe in unity consciousness, but where in my life am I not embodying that truth? Where am I still judging somebody who I don't even know, and I don't even know the circumstances, right? So one could say, when I saw that post, I had a bit of a judgment to start with, right? Whereas really, when I really fell into it and opened up my heart space, I could see it came from a place of fear, that person was in fear, and they were projecting that fear out into the collective onto another, right? So as I moved into unity, I could hold more compassion for that person. And I didn't, because at first, when I first saw it, part of me wanted to put a comment on, right, and almost pull them down a little bit, right, to say, actually, matey. But then I thought, no, that's the ego. That's the separation consciousness that needs to be right. That's not the unity consciousness. There is no doubt things that I have said, perhaps even in this video, right, there's things that I have said that I brought forward at times where, it might have been my truth at that point, but then I might have expanded and grown to a new understanding and a new level of consciousness. And would I have liked it if someone came at me trying to pull me down a peg or two, which is a consciousness that they put out there with each other? It's an ego thing. No, I wouldn't. Would I liked it with someone to just look at me and help and realize I was doing it from a place of where my consciousness was at that time, and have compassion and compassion for me? Then yes, I would. And so once I moved out of the ego and saw it very quickly, I could move into unity consciousness then and realize this person has some wounding. We all have wounding. That's okay. They feel fear. Eventually, they're going to wake up and realize they're stuck in a loop, and they can you can get stuck in that loop 5 years, 10 years, and it's not going to serve you, right? Eventually we realize this and we start to expand or the universe brings in things to give us, often if we are projecting onto someone else, onto a group of people, a certain situation, or eventually the universe will give us a opportunity to see how we are misjudging the situation, right? They'll put something right in front of us that we have to then face and see. So I've been, asking myself to every day to really look in my life and see, is there anywhere in my life that I am out of alignment with unity consciousness, and to challenge myself to continue to heal those parts with the truth. I just heal it with the truth. I just turn on the light. I remember we are all one. Now, just because we are all one doesn't mean we have to put up with someone that's in a lower level of consciousness, right? We don't have to, because we value ourselves and we love ourselves, but we also don't have to hate on them, right? We don't have to pile on more suffering onto another that is already suffering, because if they're giving out hate or anything like that, they are already suffering inside their own mind. That's what allows them to give out hate to another human being, because they are suffering. So I'm not going to pile on more suffering. And as we start to it is for us that are wanting to move into self-mastery. It's for us to lead the way, to have the courage, to have the bravery, to have the strength, to not be pulled into these dramas of divide and conquer. And it does take strength to do it, because you've got to step outside of the line. You've got to move out of the programming that pulls you into that, projecting all of your pain onto another. So I wanted to bring this video forward because unity consciousness is what 2025 is. Every year that we move forward in our evolution as humans right now, it's about opening up and expanding that unity consciousness, and it starts in us. We can't just know it and think it. We've got to embody it, and we've got to embody it in every aspect of our lives. And we're going to be challenged in that, because we've got an ego that's been programmed. So there's going to be things within our friends, within our family, that challenge that unity consciousness within. But it is in those challenges that we have our lessons, and we have our blessings, and we have our growth. And the more that we embody that as well, when we actually start to embody, like I say, with that, I have been embodying this. I've been focused on this and embodying this, but I am not perfect. It's not in every single cell of my body. Still some of my body that needs healing, that is in conflict, that is in division inside, and it's the division inside, so I'm still healing that. But when I saw that, and my instant ego was like, say something, let him see that he's wrong, projecting that hate out. But then I was like, no, that's not my job to do that. That's not my job to do that. And I very quickly moved into unity, into my heart space, and just thought, I've been there at times as well, where I've projected my pain onto others, and I've done it from a place of unconsciousness. And often people are not gonna, it's not gonna help me. Just like, if we really truly want to help people to awaken, if that is truly what that person wants, to help someone awaken, well, you don't help someone awaken by abusing them with words, right? By shaming them and by guilting them. Think about yourself. If somebody speaks to you like shit, if somebody is negative, that doesn't make you want to move into or even listen to what they have to say. It creates an instant resistance, right? So it's not the way. We do it with love. We do it with compassion. We do it with knowledge. We do it with wisdom. We do it with holding space. And we allow people to awaken when they are ready. We don't have to focus on people that are awakening if they don't want to awaken. That is their choice. We have free will, and you understand everyone has free will. But we come back to our own lives and we say, how can I change my life if I want to change it, if I'm not happy? How can I take back my power? And it is a healing journey, and we do it step by step, little by little. It doesn't all happen at once. And we have compassion for ourselves as well, as we are unifying the energies within our own bodies. So I wanted to bring that through because the more that we focus on that, because I want to bring it into the awareness to anyone that's listening to this video, so that you can bring it into awareness in your life if you're not already doing so. The sooner, the more that we do this, the faster we ascend as a human race, the faster we help those humans that are struggling in a lot of suffering to move out of that suffering. The faster we help creation, and that is part of what my mission is. So I just thought it was important to bring that through together. So yeah, thank you.